What's up, everyone? This is David the Spectre here with Mass Effect 2. Now, this game is my favorite game of all time. I love it to pieces. It is just the best thing ever. I love it. So, to get started, we're going to import our character from the last playthrough. Yeah, let's get started. Let's get in there. I'm excited to. I'm just so happy to be playing this game again. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. In my opinion, Mass Effect 2 is probably the best game ever made. And is it about to crash on me? No? Okay. Yep, all good. Let's see. Okay, so we're just double checking some important decisions. Yep, and yep. Okay. Greedy. It's kind of a weird transition. They just showed us 3 different angles of that star.
Shepard did everything right. More than we could have hoped for.
Commander Shepard uncovered the truth.
And still, it's not enough.
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack.
But they're sending him to fight Geth. Geth. We both know they're not the real threat. The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
And by us, you mean me, of course.
The Council will never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard, they'll follow him. He's a hero, a bloody icon. But he's just one man. If we lose Shepard, humanity...
One man is all you need.
Then see to it that we don't lose him.
It's Tim! Okay, I'm not even going to try to read this, because I know if I do, it's just going to go over terribly. So if you want to read this, just pause it. Long story short, yeah, Reapers are back. They're on their way back. But we don't know anything about them. That's my ship. There are not many like it, and this one is mine.
Disengaging FTL drives. Emission sinks active. Board is green. We are running silent.
Who's it
We're
reporting
wasting our
to?
time. 4 days searching up and down this sector, and we haven't found any sign of Geth activity.
Classic words wasting time patrolling here, cliche.
Something happened to him.
My money's on slavers. The Terminus system is crawling with them.
That systems
Picking up
is.
something on the long-range scanner. Unidentified vessel. Looks like a cruiser.
Doesn't match any known signatures.
Cruiser is changing course. Now on intercept trajectory.
Can't be. Stealth systems are engaged. There's no way a Geth ship could possibly...
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers!
It's a mini Death Star! Not Presley!
Presley!
I'll miss his racist ass.
Multiple hull breaches! Weapons offline! Somebody get that fire out!
Getting that fire out, you might as well be pointing a water gun at the sun. The graphics from the first game to this one are just such an
Will
improvement.
the Alliance get here in time?
It better.
The Alliance won't abandon us. We just need to hold on. Get everyone onto the escape shuttle.
Joker's still in the cockpit. He won't abandon ship. I'm not leaving either.
Oh, yes, you are.
I need you to get the crew onto the evac shuttles. I'll take care of Joker.
Commander,
Ashley, go. Now.
aye.
Those little spiders, the little sprinklers are doing their best. Will be missed, random crew member 1129. My ship! I don't care what the Reapers did to Saren, but what they did to my ship, that's unforgivable. Okay, let's get through this. All these good memories literally going up in smoke. This part is just so pretty. I will never, ever get over how pretty this one scene is. This scene feels like something out of, what was that Sandra Bullock movie? Gravity. I don't know why, it just feels like that. There's no sound other than your breathing. It's awesome. Whoops. I accidentally skipped the cutscene. My bad. He was trying to save the Normandy.
Yeah, okay. Help me up. Just coming around for another attack.
Your brittle bones are not my concern right now. Reapers have to pay for what they did to my ship. I wonder what would have happened if the suit didn't malfunction. Would the re-entry still have killed him? Probably. It's not like he had a jetpack or anything. Such a pretty shot. It's good to be back in this game. So this is sort of a backstory comic that explains, that basically just summarizes the whole last 12 episodes of the first game. So we'll play through it. It's a quick summary for anybody who didn't want to watch that first.
The paths you choose that turn the routine into anything.
And now, story time
that's how it
with Commander Shepard.
A routine mission, answering a distress call. And look where that got me. We were testing out the Normandy, Captain Anderson's new ship, when the distress call came in. An Alliance patrol on Eden Prime had been attacked. They'd seen something they couldn't explain. And whatever it was massive. I hit the ground with my lieutenant, Kaidan Olenko. A good kid.
Rip.
Loyal. By the book. With a talent for biotics. We came across the lone survivor of the patrol. Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. A soldier to the core. Tough. Disciplined. Ready to take on whatever came her way.
And incredibly
Ashley
racist.
joined up with us and took us to the spot where she
At
lost
least
her
in
squad.
the beginning.
That's when we saw it. The ship. Like nothing I'd ever seen. It was massive, scorching the colony and everything around it as it blasted away. We followed the path of destruction to an artifact, a beacon left by a long-dead race called the Protheans. The colony had dug it up, and whoever attacked them had tried to take it. Chief Williams made the mistake of getting too close. It hit her with some type of energy. I grabbed her and threw her out of the way.
And whoever hit that Geth over there had a really good aim.
Hard.
Right in the
Every muscle
flashlight
in
head.
my body went rigid. I couldn't move. Could barely breathe. Everything went black. And then I saw something. A vision. Dream. Nightmare. By the time I woke up, we were halfway to the Citadel on our way to meet the Council. I was expected to explain what I'd seen. Anderson came along. So did Adina, our political representative on the Citadel. With those two heavyweights, it seemed reasonable we could persuade the Council that the ship we'd seen was a potential threat. As was the individual behind the attack.
It turns out visions are inadmissible in court.
The main suspect for the Eden Prime massacre was a Turian Spectre named Saren. He'd been seen by one of the survivors from the colony at Eden Prime, and there was some evidence to suggest that the ship was connected to Saren. But even Adina's pointed accusations weren't enough to convince the Council.
That picture is like
They
the
just couldn't
perfect
believe
summary
one
of
their chosen
Udina
elite
in a
inspectors
nutshell.
could be guilty of something like that. They needed proof, which meant I needed proof. Fortunately, I wasn't alone in my search. Garrus, another Turian, wanted to help. A
Our
top
bro,
agent for
Garrus?
Citadel Security. Despite orders from his superiors that he shouldn't get involved, he told me he was suspicious of Saren, and he had some useful leads. More importantly, he was willing to share them. That led me to Rex, the biggest,
Our bro,
nastiest-looking
Rex?
Krogan bounty hunter I'd ever seen. He turned out to be more than just a brute. It was his intel that led to a fugitive with incriminating evidence on Saren. The fugitive turned out to be an energetic little Quarian named Tali.
And Lil Sis
A
Tally.
tech expert with a knack for hacking. She'd procured some information on Saren. Evidence that proved Saren was dirty. Tali's evidence proved that Saren was responsible for the massacre on Eden Prime, and that the immense warship we'd spotted was in fact Saren's flagship. But it went much further. Saren was trying to find a way to bring back a race of sentient machines from dark space. Machines allegedly responsible for cleansing the galaxy of all organic life. These Reapers were blamed for wiping out all life 50,000 years ago, including the Protheans, then disappearing back through the mass relays to dark space, leaving no trace they'd ever been. That explained why Saren was after the beacon, and it made some sense out of my visions. But not much else. We couldn't convince the Council that the Reapers were a threat, but they agreed Saren had to be stopped. They stripped him of his Spectre status and gave me the honor of becoming the first human Spectre. My first task? Bring down Saren. Anderson decided to stay behind, giving up his ship, the Normandy. He told me I would need it more than
Yeah. He wasn't
also pointed me in a
encouraged to do that at all.
Liara, a Prothean expert, adept in biotics, and maybe most importantly, daughter of Benezia, Saren's top lieutenant. And like most Asari, as beautiful as she is intelligent, and born with a unique ability to meld with other species. Liara was able to help me decipher some of the vision the beacon had given me. Nothing concrete, but it gave me some clues. And a new appreciation for the Asari. Her technique for accessing my vision was unexpected, but not at all unpleasant.
Way to be subtle there, Shepard.
Ashley was a little concerned about the connection I shared with Liara. As commander, I knew either relationship had the potential to interfere
Those
with
aren't the
mission.
most come-at-me eyes I've ever seen.
I told Ash I wasn't interested in Liara. I had my eyes on someone else. But we agreed we wouldn't let it get in the way of our mission. Finding Saren. Thanks to Liara's help, we had our next lead. Benezia. Saren had taken her to Novarian, where he'd enslaved a dangerous race of insect-like creatures, the Rachni. He ordered Benezia to use the same technique Liara had used on me.
It's amazing how much
Information
actually
from
took
Rachni
place
Queen.
in the last
Queen's
game.
drones were everywhere,
How much
and they weren't happy.
got packed in
We had
there.
to fight through hundreds of them to get to Benezia.
Hundreds?
By the time we arrived, Saren
Not
was
so
gone.
much. That might be a
With the
little
information,
over-exaggerating
I tried to
there.
reason with
More
Benezia,
like a couple
but
dozen.
Saren had indoctrinated her. He had somehow acquired the ability to control people's actions and wills. Benezia wouldn't surrender, and Liara was forced to watch her mother die in her arms. And I was left with an angry, dangerous Rachni Queen to deal with. She claimed her drones would do no harm if I released her. But the Rachni had terrorized the galaxy before. couldn't do it. I wouldn't doom an entire species for past sins. And the Queen was true to her word. She left and took her army of drones.
Supposedly.
With Saren's top lieutenant dead, he was quickly running out of time and places to hide. I tracked him down at his base on Vermeer, but we soon learned it was more than a base of operations. It was a breeding ground. Saren was breeding an army of Krogan. He'd found a cure for the genophage, a disease inflicted on the Krogan to prevent them from breeding and taking over the galaxy. But the Krogan Saren was breeding were slaves, mindless beasts that obeyed Saren's will. I had to destroy the base, and all its research. Rex disagreed. Violently. Rex wanted the genophage cure for his people. I tried to convince him to help me destroy it, that these Krogan weren't real. But he wouldn't back down. Fortunately, Rex is smarter than he looks.
We got through it through the power of Bro.
And that Saren was the real threat. When we finally got to the center of the base, I realized just how close Saren was to completing his plan. He was already in communication with the Reapers. Sovereign, Saren's flagship we'd all assumed was just a ship, was a Reaper. It spoke to me, threatened me. I could feel the menace it had for every living thing. It wanted me dead. It wanted us all dead. And I knew
You will
it was
end
capable of doing
because
just
we
that.
demand it.
What I couldn't understand was why Saren would help it. But there was no time to think about it. Sovereign knew where we were. We had to destroy the base and get the hell out. I split up my team in 2 squads, sending Ash with one and Kaidan with the other as a distraction. We had a nuke, and we planned to use it. Before we could detonate the bomb, Saren showed up. We fought. I stalled him to make time for my team. And in talking to him, I realized the truth. It wasn't Saren who was indoctrinating everyone. It was Sovereign. The Reaper.
Notice the blue eyes.
Saren was in deeper than
Very important.
He tried to convince me he was still in control. Said he found a way to reduce the Reaper's influence, but he was kidding himself. Or believing the lies Sovereign was telling him. Before I could convince him to stop, he ran, leaving me just seconds to extract my squad mates. I tried, but I wasn't fast enough. I could only save one of them. Kaidan was a good man, and a great soldier. But I had to choose, and I chose Ash. That was the last time Saren would slip away from me. I knew then, the next time we met, one of us would die. With my team mostly intact, we chased Saren and his army to Ilos, a long-lost planet that had once belonged to the Protheans. As we prepared for what we knew would be a desperate fight, I spoke to my crew. We were just one ship, against Saren's growing army. I assured them all that despite the
Kind of
odds,
skipped the whole part where you went AWOL and Anderson had to knock out Udina.
She knew I was hurting after Kaidan's death. She could sense my doubts. We both knew this mission could be
Anderson
our last.
knocking out Udina was the
Until that
most
moment, we
satisfying
put our
moment
feelings
of the
aside
whole
for the sake
game.
of that mission. But why wait? We gave in to each other, and it was perfect. While it lasted. We arrived on Ilos, close behind Saren. Once on the planet, we discovered a Prothean databank that helped me put the final pieces of my vision together. The Reapers had come 50,000 years ago, and every 50,000 years before that, each time purging the galaxy of life. The Protheans had fought and died, like every species before them. But a few survived long enough to leave a parting gift. The Protheans had discovered that the Citadel was the key to controlling the mass relays. By sabotaging the Citadel, they found a way to close the relays to dark space, slowing the Reapers' return, giving us the time we needed to find a solution to stop the Reapers once and for all. Saren knew this. He was leading his army to take control of the Citadel and re-establish the relays to dark space, bringing the waiting Reapers here to destroy us all. We followed him to the Citadel. It was intact, but heavily damaged. He had caught the Council fleets by surprise, and they were only now regrouping. And with Sovereign as his flagship, there was little hope the fleets could counterattack with enough strength to take
That's
back
the scary
Citadel.
part. Although there were a lot
But
of
Saren
death
was
ship,
gun-running.
the fact that a
I was
single
done chasing.
Reaper could do so much damage to the most heavily fortified place in the galaxy.
The Turian bastard in the Citadel Tower and confronted him. He died believing that the Reapers would save him. As I fought to regain control of the Citadel, the Council's flagship, the Destiny Ascension, fell under attack. Despite Saren's death, Sovereign and Saren's army continued to fight. The Council was aboard the Destiny Ascension, and they were requesting assistance. But I knew in order to help them, I would have to put our Human Alliance fleet in jeopardy. The Council had to be saved. They represented the hearts and minds of the galactic community. Without them, the fleets would be in disarray. Even with the Citadel back in my control, Saren defeated, and the Normandy leading the combined galactic fleet, the battle against Sovereign,
One Reaper,
was relentless. It took the combined fleets of humanity and the other races, but in the end, Sovereign fell. But the costs were immense. While humanity's efforts in the war earned us our first seat on the Council, it was a hollow victory. The Reapers were still out there. I knew the fight was far from over, but as the one who'd led the fight against Saren, I was given new responsibilities. The choice of humanity's first counselor was left for me to decide. On the one hand, Udina, the lifetime politician. Ruthless and ambitious, he would easily navigate the political landmines that would soon be put in front of him. The other choice, Captain Anderson, the career soldier.
Who
Tough
actually
but fair,
picked
a
Udina?
friend, and someone I could trust. Both great leaders in their own
Oh,
right.
that's right. So because of when the game ends, this choice that you make in the last game comes after the last save file, so there's no way of it making this decision over, so you have to make this one here. But always go with Anderson.
Anderson didn't want the job,
Udina's
which was a
sure.
sure sign he'd be perfect for it. No ambition to get in the way. The war was over. The threat had passed. In time, the Council would rebuild itself. The Citadel could be repaired. Even the pain of lost friends would fade. But none of that mattered if the Reapers were still out there. And if they were all as powerful as Sovereign, we had to find a way to stop them. I had to find a way. I gathered my crew, took my ship, and went in search of answers. Officially, the Council would only say I was assigned to cleanup duty, rooting out any remnants of Saren's army. Just another routine mission.
Okay, so that's the entire events of those other 12 episodes from the previous game wrapped up into about a little over 10 minutes. Death montage.
Commander Shepard has been recovered. The Lazarus Project will proceed as planned.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. You know, this is set in like 100 years, 150 years into the future, and at this point, with a few billion credits invested into one person, supposedly resuscitation is possible. But I wonder how close we are actually getting to some of that technology. Because the growth of technology is exponential, and although I don't think we're nowhere near that right now, it's interesting to think about the possibilities and how close we would be to that someday. I don't really care about most of this.
Reacting to outside stimuli, showing an awareness of his surroundings.
I'm awake. I'm alive.
Damn it, Wilson. He's not ready yet. Give him the sedative.
Oh, if there was ever a better sight to wake up to.
Just lie still. Try to stay calm.
Heart rate's still climbing. Brain activity is off the charts. Stats pushing into the red zone. It's not working.
Another dose. Now.
Heart rate dropping. Stats falling back into normal range. That was too close. We almost lost him.
I told you your estimates were off. Run the numbers again.
Wake up, Commander.
This kind of reminds me of Knights of the Old Republic, waking up from essentially a coma in the middle of the base or ship being attacked. Okay.
This pistol doesn't have a thermal clip.
Keep your head down, Shepard. Shield yourself from the blast.
Sometimes the tutorial dumbs it down a little bit too much.
Looks like they set up a barricade. Look out!
I love this. The slow motion part is the absolute best. Okay, let's switch to electronic shot. Come on, come on. Such a good cover shooter. Like, this is how I wish so many more games were these days. Okay. Am I forgetting something? This one there's a computer I'm supposed to take here. No, no. Ooh, ammo! Never turn down free ammo. Thanks for dying for me.
I can't keep the mechs distracted for long. More reinforcements heading your way. Grab the grenade. Here come the mechs.
We've been spotted.
So satisfying.
Hurry, get to the door. Run.
How come that didn't work? I was doing everything. I was doing what I was supposed to.
You're doing fine, Shep. Head to the next room and I'll try to beat you. Shepard, read me. I've got them closing in on my position.
Down.
Progress is slow, but subject shows signs of recovery. Major organs are again functional, and there are signs of rudimentary neurological activity. In an effort to accelerate the process, we've moved from simple organic reconstruction of the subject to biosynthetic fusion. Initial results show promise.
Tech jargon. Okay. This is a fun little mini game, and I have my own little way of remembering it. So C to C, battery to, oops, that's pyramid. Battery to battery, Y to pyramid, Y, pyramid, pyramid. Just kind of have like a little name for each of them, and that kind of helps keep it in order.
The cost of this project is astronomical. Over 4 billion credits.
4 billion. Oh, I was lowballing it.
That we've gone over budget. I don't know where the boss gets all this money. I just wish he'd kick a little more in my direction once in a while.
Don't we all? Okay. Kind of forgetting where I'm supposed to go now, but this should be right. I wish I could, dude. I wish I could.
I can't figure Miranda out. As project director, she should be ecstatic at all the progress we've made. Bet she's still the same old ice queen.
Just let her be her. Watch how a guy with slow-mo does this.
What are you doing here? Thought you were still a work in progress.
Are you with Miranda?
Yeah, sorry. I forgot this is all new to you.
Yeah, you know, coma and all
Jacob
that.
Taylor. I've been stationed here for...
Hostiles detected.
Damn it! Things must be worse than I thought if Miranda's got you running around. I'll fill you in. but we better get you to the shuttle first.
I know we're in the middle of a firefight, but let's sort some stuff out.
Fair enough. I'll give you the quick version. You and your ship were attacked and destroyed. You were killed, dead as dead can be when they brought you here. Our scientists spent the last 2 years putting you back together. You've been comatose, or worse, that whole time. Welcome back to your life.
I'm having some trouble wrapping my head around this.
Yeah, I can imagine. The Alliance officially declared you killed in action. The whole galaxy thinks you're dead. And if we don't get to those shuttles, they'll be right.
Were there any other survivors from the Normandy?
I'll tell you what. You help me finish off these mechs, and I'll play 20 questions with you.
Finally, some
We're low
voice
on
of reason.
thermal clips, but I'm a biotic. Just give the order when you want me to hit them with the good stuff.
How come we weren't doing that to begin with? Okay. Am I missing one?
Okay. I promised I'd answer your questions. What do you want to know?
What's
Tell about yourself.
Depends on who you ask. Technically, I'm Miranda's top lieutenant, but I'm just a soldier. I served 5 years in the Alliance before this. Now I'm in charge of the station's security. Usually a lot more dull than this. Normally I don't fire my gun unless it's target practice.
You said they spent 2 years rebuilding me?
Just how dead was I? Was I all the way dead, or was I just mostly dead?
When I first saw you, you were nothing but meat and tubes. Anywhere else, they'd have put you in a coffin. But Project Lazarus was different. Cutting-edge technology.
What do you mean? Cloning?
Yep.
Cybernetics?
I mean, what?
You'd have to ask the scientists. But I'm pretty sure you're not a clone. They wanted to bring you back exactly as you were. You're still you. You just might have a few extra bits and pieces now.
The last thing I remember is the Normandy blowing up. Did anyone else make it?
Just about everybody survived. A few servicemen from the lower decks didn't get out. Navigator Presley was killed by an explosion. But everyone else, including the non-Alliance crew, the Asari, Liara, and the Quarian, they all made it out alive.
Do you know what any of them are doing now?
I don't know, Commander. It's been 2 years. They've moved on. Left the Alliance. Could be anywhere.
They were my team. If they knew I was alive, they'd come back.
Maybe you can track them down after we get off the station. If we get off the station.
Okay, we'll find out more about Miranda when we get to her.
Depends where the mechs are thickest. It's probably best if
Check.
Convenient, just as we're wrapping up this conversation.
Wilson, this is Jacob. I'm here with Commander Shepard. Just took out a wave of mechs over in D-Wing.
Shepard's alive? How the hell? Never mind. You need to get him out of there. Get to the service tunnels and head for the network control room.
Roger that, Wilson. Stay on this frequency.
Let's get out of here.
You bet. We can get into the service tunnels through this door.
Conveniently on the other side of this, essentially, one-way room.
They've seen us.
Only Shepard could be the most hardcore soldier ever and get winded after running down one hallway. That's so satisfying.
Wilson, where are you?
Server room B. Hurry.
I'm coming.
Shepard, down here, bastard.
I thought you said they were. I thought you said you were surrounded by mechs.
Regained consciousness.
Yeah, that was me. How about we talk about this after we fix my leg?
Should be some Metagel in the first aid station on the wall. Hopefully there's enough to get him up and moving again.
Grab the Metagel from the first aid station.
Okay, get up. Come on.
Thanks, Shepard. Never thought you'd save my life. Guess that makes us even now. I thought maybe I could shut down the security mechs, but whoever did this fried the whole system. Completely irreversible.
We didn't ask what you were doing. Why do you even have security mech clearance? You were in the bio wing.
Weren't you listening? I came here to try and fix this.
Someone's a little defensive.
Besides, I was shot. How do you explain that?
You're all strangers to me. Let's get someplace safe, then we'll sort out whose fault it is.
Right, Shepard. We need to find Miranda. We can't leave her behind.
Forget about Miranda. She was over in D-Wing. The mechs were all over that sector.
Just came from D-Wing.
There's no way she survived.
A bunch of mechs won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Then where is she? Why haven't we heard from her? There are only two possible explanations. She's either dead, or she's a traitor.
Then why did you wake me up and warn me about the attack?
Okay, maybe she's not a traitor. But that doesn't change the
You are
facts.
very jumpy,
She's
Wilson.
not. We need to save ourselves. The shuttle bay is only a few. We can overload the canisters to clear a path to...
Yeah, just do it.
That's it. Let's get out of here.
Okay, we took him down. But this is getting tense. Shepard, if I tell you who we work for, will you trust me?
This really isn't the time, Jacob.
We won't make it if he's expecting a shot in the back.
If you want to piss off the boss, it's your ass, Jacob.
The Lazarus Project, the program that rebuilt you. It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
I think
Yeah,
I
you know,
ran into
those
Cerberus a few
psycho
times while I was investigating
geneticists.
some kind of pro-human splinter group, right?
Well, that's what the Alliance wants people to believe. But there's more to it. The Alliance declared you dead. They gave up. Cerberus spent a fortune to bring you back. Look, I'd be suspicious too. But right now, we have to work together. I thought you deserved to know what's what. Once we're off the station, I'll take you to the elusive man.
Tim!
He'll explain everything. I promise.
I don't care what they did or what you say. I'm not working with terrorists.
You can tell it to the boss. But after we've saved him.
This is another way of earning money in the game, and this minigame is really fun. If kind of slow sometimes. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, finally. Where'd you come from? How'd you pop up in front of me? You know, I never noticed. They actually stand up like Battlefield in Star Wars. It's kind of cool. Like the way they stand up and just get ready for combat. I never noticed that. I think that's really cool. Slow-mo aiming is the absolute best. Okay, let's just get what I need from here and get out.
Test subject has been recovered, but the damage is far worse than we initially feared.
Really? Initially worse than feared. Hmm.
Come on, through here. We're almost at the... Miranda, but you were...
Dead?
What the hell are you doing?
My job. Wilson betrayed us all.
Even if you're sure, did he deserve that welcome?
He sabotaged the security systems, killed my staff, and he would have killed us.
You sure about that, Miranda? We've known Wilson for years.
I really wish they explained
I'm never
why
wrong.
he turned on
I
us.
thought you'd have learnt that by now, Jacob.
If you say so. What's our next
Okay,
step?
whatever.
We get on the shuttle and go. My boss wants to speak to you.
You mean the elusive man?
Tim!
I know you work for Cerberus.
Ah, Jacob. I should have known your conscience would get the better of you.
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get him to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there anything else you want to ask before we go, Commander?
What about the rest of the people on the station?
This is the evac area. If they're not here now, they're not coming.
We can't leave without knowing for sure. We need to go back and look.
Don't you get it? The only one worth saving is you. Everyone else is expendable.
She's right. We all knew the risks when we signed up. Without you, there's no point to any of this.
You're the Lazarus Project's director, aren't you?
That's right. I put 2 years of my life into this project. Into you.
What does
Not that I'm
Cerberus
not
want
grateful, but
Maybe you should ask the elusive man
But why
when you
though?
meet him. He poured virtually unlimited resources into
did I miss
Lazarus.
it, Tim?
Obviously, he has some kind of plan for you.
I've had enough of this station to last a lifetime.
Or two, in your case. Come on.
What a waste of a good space station.
Before you meet with the elusive man, we need to ask a few questions to evaluate your condition.
Come on, Miranda, more tests? Shepard took down those mechs without any trouble. That has to be good enough.
It's been 2 years since the attack. The elusive man
Tim,
needs to know that Shepard's personality
I'm gonna do that
and
every
memories
time,
are
so
intact.
just
Ask
be
me
aware.
questions.
Did you say 2 years? I've been
Already
gone that
established
long?
that.
2 years and 12 days. And you were on an operating table for most of it.
The sooner we start, the sooner we can be done. Start with personal history.
Okay. Records show you grew up on Earth. Tough environment, no parents.
Standard
You were enlisted in one
hero
medal
backstory.
fighting Batarians during the Skillian Blitz. Do you remember that?
A lot of lives depended on me holding that position. I did what I had to.
However you want to put it, it was damn impressive. I had friends who were there. Satisfied, Miranda?
Almost.
Why are the scars
Let's try
below
something
me?
more
I
recent.
really wish they'd explain why the scars are
Romeo,
below
where you
me.
destroyed Saren's cloning facility. You had to leave one of your squad behind to die in the blast.
Lieutenant Caden Alenko was killed in action. It was your call. Why did you leave him behind?
I left a friend to die that day, and I didn't do it casually. But I had to save as many people as I could. Caden gave his life for the rest of the team. Without him, I couldn't have stopped Saren. He died a hero.
I understand, Commander, and I wasn't judging your decision. Everybody at Cerberus knows that cloning facility had to be destroyed.
There are other tests we really should run.
Come on, Miranda. Enough with the quizzes. The memories are there, and I can vouch for Shepard's combat skills personally.
I suppose you're right. We'll have to hope the elusive man accepts our little field test as evidence enough.
Tim! Okay, let's go and meet Tim.
The elusive man is waiting for you in the other room.
Did you seriously get winded from... You got winded from that door to right here. I mean, the grenade launcher is not that heavy. You know, I'm not one for phone booths, but if we get them like this, please bring back phone booths.
Commander Shepard.
Elusive man.
Tim?
I thought we'd be meeting face to face.
Unnecessary
Face to face enough.
Not unusual for people who know what you and I know.
You might be the reason I'm still alive, but that doesn't mean I trust you.
You need to put your personal feelings aside. Humanity is up against the greatest threat of our brief existence.
The Reapers.
Good to see your memory's still intact. How are you feeling?
You need to earn the right to ask me those kinds
Bit
of
of a
questions.
headache, but other than that.
Cerberus isn't as evil as you believe. You and I are on the same side. We just have different methods.
Cut to the chase. What are the Reapers doing that made you decide to bring me back?
We're at war. No one wants to admit it, but humanity is under attack. While you've been sleeping, entire colonies have been disappearing. Human colonies. We believe it's someone working for the Reapers, just as Saren and Igeth aided Sovereign. You've seen it yourself. You bested all of them. That's just one reason we chose you.
Nothing you say is going to convince me to trust you. I need more than words.
I'd be disappointed if I could persuade you that easily. Go and see for yourself. I have a shuttle ready to take you to Freedom's Progress, the latest colony to be abducted. Miranda and Jacob will brief you.
Is this a volunteer job, or am I being volunteered?
You always have a choice, Shepard. If you don't find the evidence...
Paragon or Renegade, for example.
Ways. But first, go to Freedom's Progress. Find any clues you can. Who's abducting the colonies? Do they have any connection to the Reapers? I brought you back. It's up to you to do the rest.
Technically, Miranda and Wilson brought me back. I'm forgetting into the specifics of it. Okay, so we're just going to go and have a quick chat with Jacob and Miranda one more time before we leave here, but I think after we chat with them, that's going to do it for this video.
I'm eager to see if you can live up to his expectations on this mission.
I never got a chance to say how much I appreciated what the Lazarus Project did for me.
I just hope it was worth it. A lot of people lost their lives on that station.
We have to work together here. Your attitude isn't helping anything.
I have the utmost respect for your abilities, Shepard. It's your motivations that concern me. I believe in what Cerberus stands for. Only time will tell if you prove to be an asset or a liability to our cause.
What can you tell me about this colony we're going to?
Freedom's Progress? It's a typical human settlement in the Terminus systems. They had a small military force for protection supplemented by mechs and security drones. Average in almost every way, really. Completely unremarkable. Until the disappearance.
Any thoughts on what we might run into there?
A lot of empty buildings and one giant mystery.
I'd like to know more about the Lazarus Project from the person in charge.
I wasn't in charge. The elusive
Tim
man
was.
If I was running the show, would have done a few things differently.
What would you have changed?
To start, I would have implanted you with some type of control chip. But the elusive man wouldn't
Tim.
allow it. He was afraid it might affect your personality, alter your character somehow. He wouldn't let us do anything that might limit your potential in any way.
Can't say I like the idea of being brought back to life with a control chip in my brain.
The elusive man is taking an incredible risk with you.
Tim.
I just hope his gamble pays off.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Worried about
Be
my
friends.
qualifications? I can crush a mech with my biotics or shoot its head off at 100 yards. Take your pick.
I was trying to
Right,
get
what
to
I
know
was
you as a
asking?
human being.
I'm not looking for a friend, Shepard. Stay focused on the mission.
It's obvious you're not interested in talking.
You know,
I've got
after
an
we
assignment.
just
We can
talked
talk about
straight
it
up
or we
for
can do it.
like 2 or 3 minutes.
I'm glad the elusive man convinced you to join us, Commander.
Tim.
I just want to find out what happened to those missing people. I still don't trust Cerberus.
Noted. Do you trust me, Commander?
You're a good man, Jacob. But you might be working for the wrong people.
Maybe. But I thought the same when I was with the Alliance. That's why I'm here now.
You said you served in the Alliance?
Literally
5 years
just
in total.
2 seconds ago.
Stationed all over the galaxy. Even spent a couple of years as a Corsair.
I've never heard of the Corsairs.
It was an Alliance initiative. They hired independent starship captains and used them for missions that fell outside official Alliance jurisdiction. Technically, we weren't part of the Alliance. If we ever got caught, they could disavow any knowledge of us. We were supposed to be free from restrictions and rules. But there was still enough red tape to sink a cruiser. I finally just gave up.
Why did you join Cerberus?
I guess I just got tired of never making a difference. So much of what we did in the Alliance seemed pointless. I thought things would change after the attack on the Citadel. Humanity was finally invited to join the Council, but nothing changed. Politics, bureaucracy, same bullshit, different leaders. Cerberus is different. When colonies go missing, we don't commission a team to write a report to figure out what the hell to do about it. We just go and find out.
Do you know anything about this colony we're going to?
It's called Freedom's Progress. Don't know much else. I guess we'll find out when we get there.
That's all for now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Mass Effect 2. Yeah, I'm so happy to be playing this game again. I just love it so much. And yeah, in the next episode, we'll be heading to Freedom's Progress and finding out what happened to those colonists. So check back later for more Mass Effect. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.